believe in yourself and unleash that power. It's do or die time. So draw out all your strength.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Love the film. Loved it. It was great. With Dragon Ball, being such an iconic franchise, I have to imagine you've been fans for it for a long time. What's it like joining that franchise, especially in such an epic scale?
Typically joining a huge franchise like this is like an incredible dream come true, as I've described it from the moment it's happened. And I think like usually when I'm like my entry point, I tend to get cast in the movie stuff of anime stuff. I tend to like have entry points in things in the movie, which is cool. Like being able to kind of be presented on a grand scale like this, worldwide. Kyle Aber was saying at CRX that this is the first time the Dragon Ball movies would be in IMAX. So like I would to kind of have that spectacle and that scale to be the introduction to a franchise that's near and dear to my heart is an absolute blessing and dream come true. Yeah,
I mean, just a really surreal experience growing up watching the show and having these voice actors that were my heroes. I would look them up on Google, like, who voices this guy? And now I'm like working with that guy. I'm being directed by Chris Sabat, who put so much love and care into the movie. And I had to remind myself a few times working on the film, like, holy crap, like you're literally working with, like, this is Vegeta right now talking to you in your headphones, telling you what you're doing for the next lines. Vegeta, it's Piccolo, it's, like half of Dragon Ball. I mean, it's it's unbelievable.
Anyone Sean's not playing, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It's just, like Zeno said, really, it truly is a dream come true.
Yeah, honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of anime. I didn't watch a whole lot when I was a kid, but I did watch Dragon Ball. And so, when the audition came in and all that, I was sort of like, I don't know. Dragon Ball always seems like this far off thing that is just so, so ingrained in the anime pop culture zeitgeist that I don't know if that's an attainable thing. And then, hey, it happened, and I just had an absolute whirlwind recording for this. It was a blast the entire time. Chris is, of course, a delightful guy to work with and just fantastic. It because it just happened in one day for my recording. So just, it felt very fast, but then like, I'm super pleased with what we got to do together. It was great.
And then we'll go with, thanks, Kevin. We'll go with Sam.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. I appreciate what your contributions for English dub animation, for Japanese animation. My first question is for Zeno. So Zeno, you've been literally everywhere as far as animation, not just Japanese animation. You've been everywhere. I think you're about to be up in Transformers. Like I looked at recently Baymax. I actually love that little series. I love your contribution to that. But I mean, of course, the most notable is Hawks and My Hero Academia. But with this one as Gamma 2, it's very interesting because I feel as though you're such a lover of animation and specifically anime that now you're a part of Dragon Ball. And, Gamma 2 is, to me, a good representation of the spirit of what the movie is supposed to be about, which is a superhero. And I wanted to know for you, what did that really mean as an artist?
As an artist, being in Dragon Ball, the franchise, I think is a very, very full circle moment. I think like I would not know what my love for anime started with a show like Dragon Ball. It started with Dragon Ball Z. I had every Budokai game. My mom would order the statues, the little, I don't know you guys, if anybody knows the little silver statues, and you press the Z and the light came on. And there's like 12 of them, and I had all of them, including the rare Super Saiyan Goku. Like I had a Goku alarm clock imported from Japan. Like my love of this franchise, my love for anime started with Dragon Ball. So being being a part of a franchise in this moment, in this particular way, in this movie, playing a character like Gamma 2, who you feel represents kind of the spirit of this film, what this film is trying to do in the franchise, is for me a full circle moment, especially as someone in my community, and Dragon Ball is very important to the Black community as well. And with everything, with the way that the entire cast has come together, and we're all from different, we're all different ages from different parts of this franchise. We all entered in different ways. We're all very diverse. We're as diverse as I think the audience it reaches. And so for me, like, I think that's why this one hits a little bit differently than a lot of the other things that I've done. Because this was like before I even knew it was anime. I started with Dragon Ball. And for that's just I just feel very blessed. And that's like the only way I can describe it. I'm very humbled and I'm very blessed and honored to be here.
Thank you.
And then the Faruqi brothers, did one of you guys want to go?
Sure. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. I want to talk, this is a question for everybody so you all can give your take on it, because so many franchises today will suffer through audience fatigue. People get tired of it. People move on to something else. The genre moves beyond it. But there's something about Dragon Ball that keeps it top of mind for viewers and for audiences. And I want to ask you guys, what do you think that secret special sauce is that keeps Dragon Ball rolling where many other franchises only have a shelf life?
I think the Dragon Ball franchise is deeply rooted in, one, its characters, two, its distinct visual style, and three, there's this theme of kind of evolving beyond what people know. As far as the franchise is considered, there's always like another form, another level, another Super Saiyan. It's a line like this is to go further beyond. Like there's always another like level to achieve, and I think the suspense in what more, what that level could be, what that thing is at least for me what kind of keeps me drawn into the franchise. Like, oh, what other world person is stronger than the last villain, and now Goku's gonna have to unlock a new thing, and that journey, for some reason, never gets old. Like everything has a formula. Like Marvel has a formula, but like I think for some reason, and I think that's also because the characters are so well developed, and there's so many that can be like this. For this movie touches on Gohan, who we've been waiting to see get his shine, since the Majin Buu saga. So there's always like I think more that they can kind of chip away at.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on what Zeno said about going further beyond and to reach that new level, I think watching Dragon Ball and being in this industry has made me kind of compare my own life to that series as well. Like, what new level can I achieve, like as a person and for my career? And it's cool to, I don't know, kind of relate the two, I guess. For Dragon Ball, I was thinking about this same thing, the same question that you asked, like, why is this so entertaining? And I mean, it's just everything. It's like what Zeno said, it's the characters, it's the writing, it's the show, it's even the adaptations for how they adapted into English. In my opinion, some of the lines that I have seen throughout the entire series are just amazing and hilarious, and would not be that way if it wasn't for the amazing work of the writers and the director, Chris, doing such a phenomenal job, always just having a hand in it, knowing what it is that the core Dragon Ball fans want, and just constantly delivering it every single time.
For sure. I also think that there's something to be said for Dragon Ball, if you start watching it, when we were younger and all that, and then maybe folks in our age bracket show it to their kids or what have you. There's something you feel a sort of familial connection to it if you start watching it when you're younger, because then it sort of continues on as you go as well. So in that same vein of kind of different levels of things and evolutions and forms and all of that, I think that it just has an excellent like narrative like flow, and you can follow that along as you or your kids get older too. So I think there's something to that as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And then can we pass it to Kevin?
Thank you again. Zeno, that shirt is amazing.
I was gonna say, like, hey,
yeah, I caught that. But the movie superhero just felt so fresh, and I've like as a longtime fan, I've never felt the series feel so like it has so much potential, and especially with all of your characters, the future is still open. Like, there's no definite end with Dragon Ball. Where would you like to see the franchise go, especially with like this reintroduction of Red Ribbon Army, all these like kind of really cool technology that they use as every day, but as you're watching, like, oh man, that's, it's like it's a really cool piece of technology that doesn't exist. Where would you like to see like your characters in the franchise go from here?
I think I'd like to see, as far as the franchise goes, I'd like to see kind of more evolution. I think now we're getting into areas where we're moving away from Goku and Vegeta kind of being the center, having the center lens on them all the time, especially with this film. Like, the focus really is on Gohan, and it picks up a lot of kind of the batons it left with the Cell saga and the Majin Buu saga, and I kind of like that. I like this new focus on some of the other characters and the other aspects in this sprawling, beautiful, vibrant, hilarious world that isn't always centered on kind of what Goku and Vegeta kind of coming in, because usually this is the Dragon Ball formula is bad guy, everybody fights the bad guy beats everybody up, Goku or Vegeta saves the day. And I think like kind of moving away from that formula while still keeping that in the heart of the franchise, but putting a focus on some of the other characters is something that I love. And I'd love to see that continue as the franchise goes on. And we're moving into kind of the future of the franchise with like GT. We're getting a little closer to GT with that's being with Pan and with Goten and Trunks. And like I'd like to see more of how the future is explored.
Yeah, more. I would love to also see more characters, more transformations for characters that aren't Saiyans. Absolutely love the Saiyans, of course. Going Super Saiyan, do that all day, every day as a kid. I'd try to go Super Saiyan. But I think it would be cool to see more forms for characters that aren't of the Saiyan race. And I mean, for Dr. Hedo, I would just like to see him create more things, kind of go into that technological aspect that you were talking about, create some new technology. Maybe he creates something that is supposed to be really good and helpful, but ends up being bad. And then they have to deal with it. And like, maybe he starts kind of crossing that line between life and death, because even in the world of Dragon Balls Dragon Ball, where you get the Dragon Balls and you can make a wish, there are still always those kind of rules that you have to abide by. No one ever has like full godlike control over everything.
Yeah, I was actually thinking very similarly along Zeno's answer as well, that it's like I really like that moving away from, much as everyone obviously adores Goku and Vegeta and such, moving forward to see other characters' stories as well is something that I think is terribly intriguing, because all of these characters are so well crafted and fun and have their own quirks and personalities and all of that. So I completely think that is a great direction to further pursue. And honestly, I'd like Carmine to get a more reasonable haircut. It's a little much, buddy.
I want to see it get bigger. Like, I want by like the next movie he has
he's secretly a Saiyan somehow. Carmine goes Super Saiyan and it turns blonde and huge.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. You know what? That's valid.
I think we might have room for one more question, Sam, maybe another, but we'll start with that.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Jason, so technically this is not your first rodeo with Dragon Ball. Reason why I bring that up is because there was an interim where when Dragon Ball GT ended, we had to wait a very long time before Dragon Ball Super came up. So we had a lot of fan stuff that came out, like Abridged and Dragon Ball Epsilon. You were a part of those projects in some capacity, but now you're actually a part of Dragon Ball. And I think this is for all you guys. You guys now are adding to the legacy of where things are going to go. The trajectory of Dragon Ball as we know it. And I mean, in general, animation is blowing up. But specifically with this movie, it adds to what I was hoping for. And I think you said is, hoping that after the Cell games, that there was going to be a transition period. And GT kind of gave a little bit of that. But now it's like all your characters in some capacity can add to a new legacy. And so, Jason, for you, how does that feel? And but for all of you guys, how do you feel about the contribution adding to the legacy of Dragon Ball Z?
It's super rewarding because do I go?
Yeah, it's your question.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm on. But yeah, I think that I'm actually really chuffed about that because and getting to in a list of like different kinds of characters that I would have been intrigued to step into for something like Dragon Ball. I never would have expected a character like Carmine, and I think that's actually really fun. So yeah, because it's just not what I would have anticipated perhaps being if I made an entrance into Dragon Ball, I wouldn't have necessarily anticipated a character like that. But that's part of the delight of it is like, you get to kind of mix it up and play something that maybe you weren't expecting in a franchise that's so full of blasts and explosions and all this stuff. So getting to do something a little more refined, a little more toned down, a little more straight and serious is very, it's fun in its own way.
And I think we could do one more question for Key Brothers. And I'll take it
Sure.
away.
So I'll give you rapid fire. I mean, you see two characters behind you, Superman and Goku. Just give me your take. Who's going to win that fight? And let's not be biased because I know it's a Dragon Ball video.
But like we're here representing the Dragon Ball.
Try to go with your honest opinion.
Well, how many forms does Superman have, and how many forms does Goku have?
How many forms does Superman need?
That okay.
I don't know. That's the age-old question. Oh,
there is a death battle with the information that you need this fight. But I will say that with the Broly movie coming out and and with how Super is turning out to be, I don't know anymore. I was firmly Team Superman, but then Broly happened and they broke the space-time continuum and survived it. So I was like, oh, well, then, maybe there's, Ultra Instinct. I don't know. Can Superman beat what he can't hit? I don't know, so contractually obligated to say Goku.
Yes. Goku, yes, certainly.
Yes, Goku.
All right, looks like we have time for another one, actually. Kevin?
Just because, so I asked you this at Comic-Con, Zeno, but since you're kind of not as obligated for the same answer, of all the voices that everyone does for all the different characters, if your characters had a battle royale, who would win?
If all my characters had a battle royale,
yeah.
Right, and then I said Thresh. Right. If all my characters were to fight, maybe probably Gamma too. I'm trying to think of all the characters I play, and none of them really seem to strike me as like super powerful. So it might have to. I might have to give it to Gamma 2. Gamma 2.
No.
and that's not because this one's not contractually obligated. I did this one because I was like, dang, every time he asked me, it's at a thing where I'm I'm representing that thing. But this one, I think it's simply because I don't think I played too many like super duper powerful people. This one, he's just like, I usually just play guys or kids or tortured heroes. And I don't think Hawks would beat Gamma 2. So
Falling off the top